Spiritually inspired social action means hope that the awakened world we've been dreaming about is happening right here and right now. Thousands upon thousands of people are engaged in projects to make the world a better place. This work is called by many names: outreach, sacred activism. Spiritually inspired social action is more than this. It's the next level of service, and it's characterized by three elements. Your heart opens, but before you jump in, you turn within. And that's the first element. It's spiritually inspired. And you listen. Be still and know. The second is the capacity to build relationships in a way that honors our cultural diversity while knowing that spiritually we are one. It's a kind of double vision, spiritual and human. And the third is we're willing to put hands and feet on our divine guidance. Spiritually inspired social action takes it to the streets. It's personal. It's sitting in the chair next to the child who needs a tutor. It's gathering to plan a film festival or to volunteer at a concert that raises consciousness. It's listening to stories while stitching a quilt with the grandmothers in South Africa who are raising children who lost their parents to HIV/AIDS. It's breaking bread with people of different faith traditions and listening to their stories with curiosity. It's Unity's fifth principle, practical application of the spiritual principles we know and love. We've said that unity is one of the best kept secrets in the world. Well, spiritually inspired social action is one of the best kept secrets in unity. So we found it helpful to identify four broad categories: humanitarian and compassionate action, local projects, global projects. Many of our churches and centers have a Share a Bear project. We provide backpacks for back to school, toiletries for single moms. We've dug wells in Africa. We've built schools. Earth care. We behold the earth as sacred. We are its stewards. We care for the waters, harness the energy of the wind. We bless the trees and all living plants, blessing the animals, the four-leggeds, the two-leggeds, and the winged ones, is interfaith dialogue and celebration. So to come together with open minds to celebrate our faith traditions is very healing. And bridges, not barriers, are built. Our peace initiatives, Unity churches and centers from San Diego to St. Louis, from Costa Rica to Canada, from Austin to Australia, and points in between, have been involved in the Season for Peace and Nonviolence since its founding. We've been represented at the United Nations by our Youth of Unity, gotten gubernatorial proclamation signed, prayed where there have been acts of violence. We've planted peace poles, celebrated leaders in our communities, and we've walked in the other person's shoes. Spiritually inspired social action means hope, that the awakened world we've been dreaming about is happening.
Well, it started for us at the same time I was hearing Unity as a movement talk about social justice work for the first time. So coming together in the same time, and that was 2007. And a local group was forming within our community, and we named ourselves Jonah. Jonah stands for Joining Our Neighbors Advancing Hope. And it's right now a group of 19 congregations, interfaith. That led us to our participation globally in a project in Africa. And so we're not only now doing something locally, but we're doing it globally. And it just is manifesting that in our knowing that yes, we are all one. Together we can really make a difference in people's lives.
Yeah.
But the basis of the program is a tutoring program that people in the church volunteer to go there and be trained, and then they go out once a week and they have children, that they are specially tutors to, and they tutor them. Service to the children, and they can see that it makes a difference. I see this as like a beginning.
I'm Elizabeth Mora. So Spirit Hike for us is a Saturday where the whole church gets together and goes on a hike, and we're raising money for a local charity, survivors of domestic violence, children that have survived domestic violence, a national charity that's helping to rebuild Katrina.
We have a project that we do every year, and we've been doing it for a number of years, we call Partners in Service. And in January, we invite our congregants to nominate organizations, they're nonprofit organizations that are local to Bloomington or are even international, but they have a branch in Bloomington. We choose 2 each year, and then we send them a letter informing them that they have been chosen to be our partners in service for the year. We invite a representative from the organization to come out on a Sunday morning, and we let them give them a few minutes in the announcements time to talk about the organization, set up a table in the lobby for after the service, and then part of our services that we tithe to them. So each one every other month gets a check for $250.
Nice.
So over the course of a year, they will each get $1,500. There's an organization in town called the Teacher Warehouse, and it's where teachers can come in and pick up supplies for kids who can't, for whatever reason, provide their own supplies.
Right.
We have a group that meets and actually takes and transports them over to the Teacher Warehouse.
We do a peace festival on an annual peace festival where we just open it up to the whole community. This is our 4th or 5th year that it's held on our grounds. It's opened a whole door for them to serve in that way, and knowing that they're serving their unity principles, they're just an extension of unity of faith.
Local needs can inspire Unity churches to create their own programs. Unity of San Antonio was made aware of the plight of youth aging out of foster care in their own city. The Through project began in July 2011 as a service project of Unity of San Antonio to build a bridge from youth to young adult.
I really want to change the world. I'm gonna start by changing the way I see. When I can see the light in you, see your love come shining through, then I'll start a new reality. If I can help you to see your light, will you turn around and help me? We can make this world shine so bright. I wanna see your light shine on me. I really want to change the world. I'm gonna do my best to truly give.
We have a regular homeless lunch program. Now, there are institutions in our communities that feed the homeless, and we do a Saturday morning. Our people come in, they use the kitchen at the church, and they prepare lunches. Those lunches go to shelters where the food is not provided on the weekend. Our youth are regularly involved in this. They prepare, and from little guys up through our YOUers, they are aware of this part of our community and appreciation and acceptance of everyone as they are. And we look again and again at that experience of unconditional love and how do we express it. So,
I don't believe one church can do it alone.
Right.
So in our idea of spiritual social action, it's almost like the way the nervous system connects to the body. We have to directly connect with other resources because we realize it takes all of us in this spirit of oneness to work together in the community, and so that we can go forward and really build that wonderful spiritual connection, because you'll be surprised where if we can't do it, we found ways to send another person to connect with someone else. But the idea is to be there for the community. And we are very glad that Unity recognized that we can't just keep it in our head. We have to take it to our heart and let it become the spiritual social action, so that as it goes out, it's going out not as an intellectual what you need to do, but a loving demonstration of how we should be, and to be that change that God is calling us to be.
Number one. But what happened is, after we raised the funds, everybody looked around and said, we don't want to just send a check.
We're going to do something.
We want to go. So like, okay, we're going to Africa, we're going to Haiti. So I think that is so important, because what you get, it's a great thing to send a check if that's what you can do. But people's lives, that's how they get changed with the hands-on. And when you were saying they're sitting there knitting and showing the little girls and talking with the grandmothers and that, man, that's the kind of stuff that stirs your soul. And then service gets in your being, and you can't help but not serve. You're looking for somewhere to be of service and to support.
It feeds you.
It does. And you don't really know that until you jump into that, and then you're like, wow, this is service for real. We continue to have a 2-week summer camp, and that summer camp has just grown every year for the children in Haiti. But for some of those kids, it was the first time for that 2-week period that we have our camp there, that they get 3 meals a day. I think one of the things that has made social action and sacred service kind of mysterious or whatever is because we think it's something that we're really going to have to put in a tremendous effort to do. But once we get involved in it, it's easy, isn't it?
It's my family.
It's like this isn't work. This is like living.
We'll help people to hold hope right in the midst of whatever it is that's going on. We built a greenhouse a few years back, and then we left paint for the children. And they painted this glorious whole wall mural. And it said, "Hope grows here." So we're not just growing vegetables in this greenhouse. These kids knew that. This is a place where hope is growing.
Yes. Oh my
Just that it's all about service. I receive every bit as much as I give, if not more. So it's not like I'm coming here to help you, poor people.
Right.
It's not that at all. It's very much stepping into a human family as equals and looking at some difficult situations and how can we respond and working together with people's dreams.
It's not unusual at all to discover someone in the community we wish to serve who already knows what is needed. By building partnerships with local people or local organizations, we learn how we can provide just a few resources in the right place to make a huge difference. And we experience the joy of facilitating a community to go to work for themselves. Love Light found such a partnership with John Jacobs.
Love Light is the Light Center's outreach project, which has been going for about 10 years now, and originally was inspired by the AIDS orphan crisis in South Africa. Thousands and thousands and thousands, actually millions, of children who have been orphaned by the pandemic, so that you're not safe in your home, you don't have adult supervision. And it's very typical in South Africa to have child-headed households. So the oldest child is raising all the rest of the children. Every one of the kids that you talk to has a dream. They want to be something. They want to be a lawyer. They want to be a news broadcaster. They want to do something big, big dreams. And that involves getting some education beyond high school. The grannies provide whatever is needed for children that they identify in the community who are at risk. They know which children are not being fed, which children are not going to school, which children are in some kind of an abusive situation. And they make sure those kids know there's a safe home here where you can come and have a granny to hold you, to talk to get some porridge, to have what you need to be able to go to school.
Refusion in terms of per capita, have the highest infection rate in the Western Cape. We are about 5,500 people. We've got over 1,000 people that is infected, and it's growing. The one thing that we feel we need to do is to build strong leadership in Refusion Inn, so that we can have young leaders, that would be able to get a good education, first primary, secondary, and then go to university, so that they could be able to find good jobs, so that they can initially at least look after their own families, you see. And then I've made it, and I need to plow back, you see.
From South Africa, from a beautiful area called the Blue Hippo Camp, where these sweet beings, along with their teachers and their friends and their family members, are here experiencing a time together. And so,
yes. I like cartoons.
They might say things that are negative, like, how can you do that? You have no money, or you're not smart enough to do that. What if something bad happens? Today we're going to say, what if everything goes right? Or what if up?
Spotters ready! We are ready! One day, not enough to be said no. I am ready. I said no. Namaste to everyone.
Magic, yes? It's magic.
You are so beautiful, you are so wonderful, and I do love you as you are, my friend.
Speak from your heart, things. Yes. And about trust other people. Learn me to be a leader, have faith in my friends, and trust in. Hold my trust up.
I want to become an accountant. I also want to help children in my community. To help them to build leadership skills, stay involved with the camps.
Hi, my name is Nekamba. I live in South Africa. I enjoyed the Ubuntu camp and I love you. I appreciate you. I give all my blessings from God. Let God bless you. Thank you.
There's a change in kids. The kids that was on the camp last, I see the change in before and afterwards. So you make a difference. You really make a difference in the kids' lives.
Our ministers and our ministries are hearing the call. For Charlene Emmanuel, it was while she was flying home from the Parliament of World Religions, and she had a question that would not leave her alone. How can my church help provide potable water to our human family? For Sky St. John, it was, how do we serve the homeless on the beaches of Hawaii? And for our Unity Church in Dallas, it was listening to a call from the teachers in the congregation who serve a local school for at-risk youth. Some of our churches have answered the call, how do we respond to people displaced by Katrina, to the pain caused by the earthquake in Haiti? We've responded over the years to one call after another after another. And I don't know what your calling is, but I know you've got one, because the universe is calling.